I woke up about 7 o'clock on Friday morning, the 25th, and I was already having some contractions. It was actually my contractions that woke me up. But I had a doctor's appointment about 10 o'clock, so I figured I just need to get up and get ready and go to the doctors and find out from them what they wanted me to do.
So I was working in Atlantic City doing a show with Janet Jackson. You weren't supposed to come until the 27th, 25th. We thought you were coming home the 29th, and I wasn't going home until the 27th. This is the 25th. You weren't supposed to show up yet.
He said I was definitely in labor. Since I had driven myself to the appointment, I decided to go ahead and drive home, get the dogs together, and have Nana come pick me up. This is probably maybe close to 11 o'clock on that Friday morning, and I know I need to call Dad to let him know that I'm going into labor. So I call him, and
my buddy was joking with me, Kyle. My phone rings. I saw that it was you, and he's like, "Oh, she's probably calling to tell you she's having the baby." I was like, "No, we're not having that for a couple more days."
He answers the phone. He starts laughing, and he said, "Oh, Kyle said you're probably calling to tell me you're going in labor." And I'm like, "Ooh, well, I kind of am."
And my face dropped, and Kyle, he started laughing even more because he knew that's exactly what was happening. So
he said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Yeah."
And I was like, "Oh, ugh. All right, well." Tried to stay calm as possible. Inside, I was kind of freaking out, but tried to stay calm.
I said, "Whatever you can do to get home, that's what you're gonna need right now." So he said, "Okay, let me go. Let me see what I can do."
So I got up out of there and went and rented a car.
Nana was going to pick me up about 12:30 to head back, so I went home and finished packing a bag and made arrangements for the dogs. Took Murphy to have him kenneled, and after I took him to have him kenneled and made sure Cleo was okay, I just waited for Nana to come and get me.
I don't really know where Atlantic City is, so I got a GPS, and I was on the phone with Nana, and Nana's like, "Take this freeway to that freeway, and then take that freeway to this freeway, and take that." And I was like, what? So just put in the GPS. The GPS said I would be home by 3 o'clock. I said, "Sweet, that's awesome." That's like, how is that possible? I had no idea. So I started following the GPS, and I'm cruising. All of a sudden, the GPS takes me and turns me into a ferry terminal. And I said, "What the heck, a ferry terminal?"
I did know that he was driving from Atlantic City, so he had a couple of states to drive through, and he was taking a ferry. So they told me that they really didn't think there was any way if they broke the water that I'd be having it before 10 o'clock that night or so.
So get on the ferry, we're stuck on the ferry, and then we get off the ferry, and I freaking floored it.
So the nurse midwife went ahead and broke my water so that we could help move the process along possibly a little bit faster. So after they broke my water, I talked to Dad a couple times, just checking on him, trying to see where he was. But we didn't tell him that they broke my water because we thought that might make him worried. So we didn't tell him that part.
And I just booked it all the way down the coast.
Nene was making her way to the airport. She had a flight to get in that afternoon about 5 o'clock. And we were hoping that Dad was going to be able to get there by 7. So we're just hanging out, me and Nana, waiting for everyone to get there.
So this whole time I'm really worried that I'm not going to make it. And I just thought, I had many hours to sit there and think, what happens if I miss the birth? I'm not going to make it. But I just said, whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and I'm going to be fine either way. You'll never remember that I wasn't there, so it's going to be fine. And with some cool little video edits, I could probably put myself there if I really wanted to, and you'd never know the difference. Anyway.
So Dad got there about 7:30. We were really happy that he finally got there. So now Nene was there, Amber T was there, Nana was still there, Dad finally got there, and we're still just waiting for our baby. About 10 o'clock, Nana and Amber T decided to leave, and then about 30 minutes later when they checked me, we realized that, oh, well, I now had progressed quickly up to 8 centimeters. So we decided not to call them back. It was just Nene and Dad were with me, and maybe a little after midnight, we were ready to go, and then we had to wait on the doctor.
And then the whole night, just I had time-wise, I have no idea. It was, like I said, it was a whole blur. I really no idea what happened. It was like you were coming, and then you weren't coming. You were coming, you weren't coming, and Mom was just, you know, up and down, up and down. It was a big roller coaster ride. Is he coming? When's he coming?
So finally, at about 2 o'clock, the doctor got there, and we were allowed to start pushing soon after that. And I guess I pushed for about 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes or so with you for you to come out. And buddy, it was not very easy. It was pretty hard.
And we get there, and I'm on the one side, and Nene's on the other side, and she's holding the legs, and she's counting. She was an excellent counter, and I'm breathing.
Yeah, his head is.
Come out.
He's partially out.
And you're pushing, and your head's about to come out, and all of a sudden, Nene doesn't think she can hold my leg anymore. She had to sit down.
And I'm pro at breathing. I'm a professional breather. And we get through there, and Mom's just, you know, she's not having a good time. And I look down, and I see your little head peek out. And then I look up at Nene, and Nene kind of looks at me, and her eyes kind of roll, and she says, I think I need, and she didn't even finish the word need.
And then she passed out.
She went to fall. There was a nurse came from behind her and put Nene in this headlock and like walked her over and sat her in this chair, and then Nene passed out. And then she woke up, and the head, here I see your head, Nene's passing out and waking up in the chair next to us. There's like 4 nurses on her. I'm here with the doctor and one other nurse, and the doctor's asking you about Nene, or asking Mom about Nene, and it was just crazy, crazy, crazy.
And we have to continue pushing for you, so I'm able to push you out pretty quickly after Nene goes down, and then you were here. It was 2:48 a.m. when you finally came.
Oh, yeah.
I was very happy.
You came out, cut the umbilical cord, they gave you to your mom. I cut it!
Hi, buddy! Oh, he's perfect!
And then they, you know, clean you up and they set you on my chest, and honestly, I really was I was happy that you were there and you were safe, but I was exhausted, still in some pain, so I wasn't really in the mood to be holding you.
She wanted nothing to do with you. Don't get it twisted. She wanted nothing to do with you at the time. Don't let her tell you any different. She was over it. So they put you on Mom, and Mom was like, oh, great.
Hi, buddy. We got. Good job, Doc. Good job, sweetheart. Good job, sweetie. It's great. It's good.
And then they went and weighed you and washed you, and that's when I went over and took some pictures of you, and we got your birth weight and all that cool fun stuff.
There he is.
What are you feeling? Apgar's a 9 for the first minute.
Apgar's 9? Out of 10, right?
She was just high blood pressure.
7.8.
8 pounds, 7 ounces.
Oh, just kidding. 8 pounds, 7 ounces. I won.
Get his weight in the picture.
Here we go.
I had a fever, and let me just tell you, first of all, that I've never had a fever over 101, and I had a fever of almost 104 trying to deliver you. So they were kind of worried that you were going to have a fever as well, and you did. You came out, you had a fever about 102, which kind of spiraled into us having to stay at the hospital a couple extra days. You were okay and I was okay, but they decided to keep us a little bit longer just to check and make sure and do some extra blood work, which was not so much fun.